What's going on, folks? How's everyone doing? This is your boy Ed, just with a quick check in. I didn't really have um, a particular word. I guess I just wanted to kind of share, because I do a lot of sharing, share my feelings and some thoughts. I just think that with everything happening in the world, we can no longer afford to be petty and spiteful towards one another. We can no longer afford to hold grudges against one another. We can no longer afford to not value the life and space of one another. The time is now to come together and to unite in love. And I promise you, man, it's like I do feel, but I know my feelings aren't always valid. But I sometimes feel like I'm unheard and I'm unseen in these messages because it's just not popular. But then I get a word that, something I said, resonated with someone. Someone will say, I definitely appreciate your angle and perspective on that. And it caused me to think. So I know that people are hearing and I know that people are listening. And I choose to stay in this particular lane because I'm not here to gossip and tear people down and talk about other people' business and all of these things because honestly, those things don't do anything for me. Never have, and obviously never will. So I stay in the lane that speaks closest to the content of my character, and that is literally just a person, an individual seeking after his or her relationship with God. I think that's the most important thing that you will ever do on this side, and with again, all of the things in the world that are happening with the politicians, with the way the government is structured, with the way capitalism has taken a grip on this country and in the world, how ego and vanity are running wide and rampant, and people are now referring to themselves as demons. Like it's a terrible time. On top of the fact that North Korea and Russia are talking nuclear warhead action, like it's there's so much. It's so much. And all we can do is pray and trust God and strive not to be anxious. And I again I've said it before and I really wanted to be clear that God never promised us that it would be easy. What he did promise us is that in the midst of the storm he'd be there. Um and it didn't matter what went on to your left or to your right. It wouldn't touch your home. It wouldn't come near you or your family. There's covering and protection in that blood. Um, and I get that, with all of the distractions and all of the different things out there that one can choose to follow after, it's a real sad thing that God is not seen as a first priority. He's often viewed as the last. And then, we have life that happens. People pass and people lose homes and people are shot and people are hurt and people are violated and people generally are disrespected. And we wonder, where is God in these times? And the answer is he's right there. He's right there. Um, he's not about exercising control over a human as we process control. He's not into forcing his will upon you. He absolutely wants it to be voluntary. He wants it to be your decision. And so a lot of the things that happen, they happen because of us. They happen because of us. They sometimes happen due to unforeseen circumstances. We never know what's on the other side. We never know um, what that pain will produce. We never know what that trauma will reveal. Sometimes trauma has really been a foundation, sad enough to say, or at least not a foundation, a launching pad into greatness for many individuals. They've taken that trauma and they chose that they were not going to be defined by it. They chose to persevere and move on. And I mean, you can pick a slew of people from Martin Luther King to Frederick Douglass to Booker T. Washington. To of today, you got Joyce Myers. You have Tyler Perry. Um, so many people. Anderson Park. There's so many people out there that refuse to allow the pain and the obstacles of life to tear them down. They chose instead to climb higher. Mary J. Blige, she chose to use her gift to be a blessing to not only search and seek out love and peace and joy for herself, but to share that journey with other people in hopes that it would inspire them because her whole message has always been, I'm just like you. You know what I'm saying? And I want you to heal. I want you to be better, you know? And I do understand that not everybody gets it and not everyone is going on that journey. I also understand that it definitely is dark out there in the world, but I also believe that there is hope. There still remains hope while we are here living. God is not done with us yet. God is not done with us yet, and it is not over. It is not over. It is not over. And we all have that thing that causes us to cry out. That's a thing that is used to humble you, to reveal to you your need for Christ, your need for His touch, your need for His healing, your need for His sacrifice. To be able to tap into the power of the living God. I believe He is very much so alive and well, and that He is there constantly orchestrating and causing things to come into play and meeting you there and meeting you through there and meeting you on the other side of there. He's with you always in all things. So I don't want you to give up. I know it's frustrating. I mean, life. I'm faced with some things even now. I'm dealing with some things even now. But to God be the glory. I'm choosing to stand in peace, and I'm choosing to fight to remain standing in peace. I refuse to give up. I refuse to quit. And I will continue to trust God. That's literally all I can do because, to be honest with you, at the end of the day, He is all I have. And that's not to say I don't have people that, in my life that love me, because I do have people in my life that love me and they believe in me and they support me the best way they can and the best way they know how. But ultimately, I can only rely on God for everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can go to Him about any and everything. And I'm vulnerable with Him. I've learned to be open with Him. I've learned to be truthful with Him. I've learned not to try to hide from Him because He absolutely sees me and He doesn't want me shying away from Him. He doesn't want me running away from Him. And so I am just so thankful at His patience with me. I'm so thankful at the new mercy and the new grace that's made available to me every day. And I love Him so much. The more I speak about Him and the more I seek to learn, and I just sometimes maybe even get in a quiet space as often as I can, the more it is revealed to me how much He loves me and how in those quiet moments He quells me. And if, there's a thing I'm faced with and it's got my emotions on 10, He just gently and soothingly speaks life to me. He speaks love to me. He speaks patience to me for me to come on back down, trust me, and keep pushing. That's what He does for me. That's what He does for me. And it is a thing that supersedes my natural processing. I can't explain it other than you would definitely um, do well to actually seek after that relationship for yourself. And I really hope you will, because that's the only thing that's going to hold you in this world, man. It is dark, and death and destruction are everywhere, and pride and ego are everywhere. And it's so sad that so many people are just really headed down the wrong road, and they're doing it with a smile on their face, a drink in their hand, and a Birkin on their shoulder. Or, a drink in their hand, shades on their eyes, and, $250,000 worth of jewelry around their neck. Or, doing it with the person they think to be the most desirable, or the person they think has the biggest bags to just be attached to them. They are descending into destruction and just turmoil, and they're doing it gleefully, willingly, willfully. they don't understand the danger that they are in. So I want you to know that you are not a lame individual. You are not a square. Um, you are not alone in your journey, because I know there are many people out there that, like myself, are different. We don't fit in with any of the things that are current and popular and popping. We don't fit in and blend into any of those things, and we were never created to. We were actually created to stand out. So it is absolutely time for us to stand out and take our place and occupy that space heavily, because it's yours. It's yours, and understand that it is not easy, but you've got help. You're not alone, and you don't have to go at it alone. You have got help. All you've got to do is reach out and ask them. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Taking a little break, and I'm relaxing, and I'm just gonna enjoy myself this evening. And yeah, you guys be well. I love you so much, and I look forward to talking with you guys soon. Be safe and have a great weekend. Talk to you later. Bye.